Welcome to Stuff They Didn't Teach Me in Sunday School. You may be more familiar with today's story from Cecil B. DeMille than you are from the Bible. Many of us have our picture of the crossing of the Red Sea burned into our brain from the movie The Ten Commandments. Let's look at what the text itself actually says. It's in chapter 14. The first issue that we have is that God's people have finally been let go by the Pharaoh after the Pharaoh changed his mind a number of times and had to go through 10 plagues. He finally says, get out of here, go, just go. And they go. They get to the shore of the sea, and Pharaoh's changed his mind. Looking back over their shoulder, they see they're in deep, deep trouble. So what do? You think they might hit their knees and pray. But no, they grumble. Here's the line, Exodus 14, verse 11, and they said to Moses, is it because there are no graves in Egypt that you've taken us away to die in the wilderness? I mean, whining, sarcasm, it's all there. What have you done to us in bringing us out of Egypt? Is not this what we said to you in Egypt? Let us alone and let us serve the Egyptians. For it would have been better for us to serve the Egyptians than to die in the wilderness. Wow. They aren't even a day out of town. And here they are, we're in trouble. They think they're going to die at Pharaoh's army's hand. They got the sea in front of them, and they're in a jam. Moses' answer is great. I wish I could read his mind, and when I get to heaven, I'm going to ask him about this incident. Moses said to the people, fear not, stand firm, and see the salvation of Yahweh, which he will work for you today. For the Egyptians whom you see today, you shall never see again. Yahweh will fight for you. More holy war. He'd already fought through him all the way through the plagues. Now he's going to fight for him again. And you have only to be still. What I want to ask Moses is, did you know what was coming? I believe that Moses had great confidence in God's ability to deliver him this situation. I do not know whether Moses realized how God was going to do that. And I can almost picture Moses saying to the people, wait, God is going to get you out of this. Watch. And Moses kind of saying aside to God, how are you going to handle this one? God said to Moses, why do you cry to me? Tell the people of Israel to go forward. Forward is a sea. Lift up your rod, stretch out your hand over the sea, and divide it, that the people of Israel may go on dry ground through the sea. And I will harden the hearts of the Egyptians so that they shall go in after them, and I will get glory over Pharaoh and all his host, his chariots and his horsemen, and the Egyptians shall know that I am Yahweh when I have gotten glory over Pharaoh, his chariots, and his horsemen. Well, you know the story from there. God parted the sea. The people went through on dry land. God covered over Pharaoh's army and drowned them. The final grinding in the dust of the Egyptian gods and the Egyptian powers. Sometimes there are questions about what that sea is, and one valid translation of some of the manuscripts is that it's the Sea of Reeds and not the Red Sea. And the Sea of Reeds, some have suggested, is only about 1.5 feet to 2 feet deep, and therefore the idea is it would have been easier for God to part it. Well, if you're going to part water, I don't think it makes much difference how deep it is. And secondly, I guess you get to pick your miracle. If it's the Red Sea, you're parting a great deal of water. If it's the Sea of Reeds, you're drowning Pharaoh's army in about 1.5 feet of water. So choose your miracle. Either way, it's God's action. He's bringing his people safe through a dry path, and he is destroying his enemy, Pharaoh and his army. A powerful, powerful story about deliverance through water. When you think about it, that's a pattern that God continues through the Bible. We saw it with Noah, as God delivered Noah's family by raising them up on top of the water in the ark. Deliverance through water. And now we see it as God's people are passed through the water on dry land, as God parts the water and provides salvation for his people. Probably no accident that you see it again in the New Testament in holy baptism, as God brings salvation for his people through the waters of baptism.